Okay, excellent. Now, first thing I want to ask you is about this attack by the Israeli military launched on Gaza today. Also claims from Hamas that Israel has violated the ceasefire 47 times, causing deaths and injuries. At this point, how much of a risk is there that this ceasefire could fall apart?
Well, Renee, I think we're watching the ceasefire slowly fall apart or unravel. For the last few days, Israel has been attacking Hamas and, into Gaza. And now we've heard these repeated reports that, Hamas is talking about attacking its own citizens. We have seen in the last few days since the hostages have been released, Hamas killing their own people, Israel killing Gazans. And, after the goodwill of the exchange, it just seems this thing is just unraveling in large part because there's no discussions about the next stages of what's going to happen on the ceasefire.
What do you make of this claim from the U.S. that Hamas is planning to attack Palestinians?
Well, I think the other thing I take away from this, and this is what happened a few days ago when we saw those heinous reports of the executions of people on the streets, is that Hamas is losing control over its own people. After 2 years of fighting, the regime of Hamas and the Gazans are just starting to say we can't accept this anymore. So you're seeing an internal fracture of the Gaza governance structure, and that's just making the situation with the Israelis even more complicated.
Now, there were reports yesterday the Rafah border crossing would open Monday before Israel poured cold water on that. How important is it for that to open?
It's exceptionally important. I mean, it's right there with Egypt where all the aid trucks are, and the aid trucks have to get in and to help out the people. And so if it's not open, it's both a psychological impact and it's also a realistically an important logistical impact on providing humanitarian aid to Gazans. And yet another example of just how tenuous the ceasefire is, and it seems to be unraveling slowly in front of our eyes.
What move do you think the White House could possibly make in the days to come?
Well, instead of inflaming, the fuel here by saying, Hamas is ready to attack, is to get Hamas and Israel back to the bargaining table to tell them to slow down and to work with each other to keep the ceasefire going. The great work that it was done by Trump at the beginning seems to be reverting back to just calling names to each other, and that's not going to bring this thing to a successful end. It's just going to end it quicker.
Major General, sir, thank you very much for taking some time for us early on a Sunday morning.
Renee, good to be with you.
That is David Fraser, CTV military analyst.